Welcome to the Calyrex Game Corner's Pokemon D&D campaign, featuring Cindy, a young vagabond from the Hoenn region with pyromaniac tendencies, Gimli, a stocky, burly miner from Sinnoh looking for his lost son, Elodie, an enthusiastic foodie and baker from Kalos, and Schmidt, an enigmatic man from Johto with a duck. My name is Rich, and I'm the Game Master, and this is Dunsparce and Drampa. D's Nuts has experienced heavy damage as the Packo entrusted the Hoopa Ring to a 12-year-old boy from the Unova region, staying with family in Hoenn as a means of expediting their trek to Dewford Town. Their trip was certainly hastened, but not without cost, as the Packo's ship was swiftly traveling atop of Horde of Corsola as it dove into the portal made by Alex directly into Alex's bedroom. As a result, the Packo's ship, D's Nuts, is hardly seaworthy and is in desperate need of repair, not to mention that the party has suffered extreme injury from debris as their sailboat and approximately 200 Corsola destroyed a two-story family home from the inside out in a small Dewford neighborhood. Schmidt, thinking quickly, covered the child to protect him and saved him from likely death, but not without Schmidt having taken even greater damage as a result. While battered, only Elodie and Gimli are conscious to greet Alex's aunt and uncle as they stand mere meters away from the wreckage, carrying grocery bags from an evening shopping trip alongside a large and wide human-like Pokemon with massive three-fingered hands with the appearance of a sumo wrestler, carrying 2 gallons of moo milk as if they were teacups. It is well into the evening, approaching 8 o'clock p.m. The commotion has caused all of the neighbors to peer out from their yards and porches, assessing the source of the loud sound and subsequent destruction. The smell of smoke, natural gas, and sawdust fills your senses. A fell wire crackles and sparks on the ground, and a water pipe from a bathroom is uncontrollably spewing vertically into the sky. This home is beyond repair. Alex's aunt drops her grocery bags and just screams and cries. Considering Cindy and Schmidt are unconscious, with a scathed Packo standing atop Schmidt with his sword drawn forward, and Schmidt having collapsed on top of Alex, the Hoopa Ring is nowhere to be seen among the wreckage. Before we actually properly start, I need Elodie to do something for me.
Okay.
I need you to make 2 dexterity saves.
Okay.
I have that dex stat. I need to actually just roll 2 d20, individual d20.
It's going to be a bad session, folks.
Okay.
So 1 and a 10.
A 1 and a 10. Flip a coin or roll a d2 or do evens or odds.
Evens or odds. That's evens.
Okay. Roll 1 more flat d20. I will let you know that this d20 is in combination with a roll that I had Schmidt make before this session.
Oh, God.
Okay. That's an 8.
Perfect. The rolls I just had you make were influencing the Pokemon that were outside and around the ship before it entered the portal. The first 2 dice I had you roll were for Grape Juice and Bubblegum, who were behind the ship, giving it moisture as it propelled forward. Grape Juice did not make it through the portal. Bubblegum is strewn in the debris, and they have to make a DC 16 dexterity save.
So grape juice is just in the ocean.
This is correct.
Yes.
Well.
Consequences have
If
actions.
it isn't the consequences of my act.
Well.
Saw a post earlier that said, "Ooh, I love my little actions." Consequences of them, however.
It's so true.
I love my little actions.
Bubblegum did fail that dex save.
Okay. Bubblegum takes 60 damage.
16 or 6D?
60.
Everything's fine.
Those are the first 2 rolls I had you make. The third roll I had you make was for different Pokemon that were outside the ship, and that was Patricia and Cabbage, who were guiding the Corsola to guide the ship in the direction it was going, in front of the ship. The roll that I had Schmidt make, I won't tell you the DC for this, but the roll that Schmidt made was 7, and yours was 8. Those are both too low, and Patricia and Cabbage are also currently lost at sea.
Shut up.
Well. I love my little actions.
All this to say, this may not be your greatest problem at the moment.
True.
No.
2 kind of mid-40s aged people a couple, Alex's aunt and uncle, see the destruction before them alongside their Pokemon, and they are rightfully very concerned. His aunt is inconsolable, and his father seems like he is about to speak. We're not going to enter initiative, but I'm going to set a 5-minute timer. I'm not going to tell you for what. Please tell me how you'd like to defuse the situation and in what order you'd like to do it.
I think the first thing that I would do is orient myself and take inventory.
Okay.
So probably just going to start yelling out names like Schmidt, Cindy, Gimli.
I'm here. I'm looking for them.
Oh God.
Can I perception to see if I can find the other ones?
Sure. Yeah. Give me the perception.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that is a 10.
With the 10, you basically just see the basics that I've just described to you. You see Cindy in a pile of rubble, unconscious, breathing. You see Packo standing atop of Schmidt. Packo looks kind of scathed and bruised, but is functioning. Schmidt seems messed up. He is breathing very, very slightly, and the mast of these nuts has fallen onto his left shoulder. He's like pinned, and underneath him you see Alex also unconscious.
Well, better try to get Schmidt out.
Okay. Is that your course of action here?
Yeah.
Okay. Based on your passive strength, you should be able to remove him from the rubble. Elodie, Are you doing anything in this moment?
I'm gonna try to recall all of because I have all the Pokeballs, so I'm gonna try and recall the Pokemon that are not in their Pokeballs.
This is cabbage and
cabbage,
grape juice,
bubblegum, and grape juice. All 3 of them.
Okay, you just kind of hold up the ball and see what happens.
Yeah, I don't know. However you normally recall Pokemon,
sure.
I guess.
Yeah, bubblegum is recalled, no problem. There's a little laser that exits Cabbage's and Grape Juice's Pokeball and scatters forward into the sky and does not seem to connect with a Pokemon.
Oh, no.
As these events happen,
like a range.
Alex's aunt is not functioning, and Alex's uncle says, "What do you think you're doing?" And as you stand in the wreckage of their home, Alex's aunt has dropped all of her groceries, and there are eggs on the ground. And their intimidating Pokemon is standing with its hands at its hips, very intensely looking down at Elodie and Gimli.
So I got Schmidt and Alex out of the wreckage?
That's correct. Yeah, you don't need to roll for that. You do that.
I don't know what we're doing.
I
don't know how we got here.
He's having a mental breakdown.
We decided we were gonna lie about this and tell them it was all the kids' fault with the ghosts.
Cindy says unconscious.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
No, I mean, I agree.
Blame it on the unconscious child.
Yeah.
Not the me unconscious child, the other unconscious child.
Listen.
True.
I don't know what happened, but we picked up this boy when we were at sea. We're on an island now or something. I don't know where we are.
Where are we? What is this?
I don't even know where we are. We picked him up, and then suddenly we fell here. I don't know what happened.
Okay. As Gimli did most of the speaking, I'm going to need either a persuasion or a deception check from Gimli, as you're kind of telling the truth, but you kind of do know what happened. So
18.
18. That's pretty damn good. That being said, the threshold for this is still difficult, but they're comforted by an adult in the situation, so to speak. It wasn't until this moment that these two people even realized that their nephew was a part of this. It wasn't until Gimli motioned to the child that he pulled out from the wreckage. This doesn't necessarily help their case, but they are happy to see that their child is alive, ? Or that their nephew is found. His aunt just still screaming, crying, just not throwing up yet, but that could happen. Screaming and crying, just dashes.
Oh my god, is this your home? Wait, a weird house?
She just rushes forward to Alex. I'm actually making a dex check for her. And she fails, she trips. She's a little hurt, actually. No. She fell on some wood. That's not great. Her partner kind of steps forward and picks her up, and he looks at Gimli and he says, "What did you do to our nephew, and why did you destroy our home?"
Okay, let me take a. Okay, so as I explained, we were sailing to Duford. Is that where we are right now?
Justin, oh, I said his name. You don't know his name yet. The uncle says, yes, we're in Duford Town.
Okay, we were sailing just in the middle of the ocean on our way here. We found this boy. You said his name is it's Alex, right?
Yes, his name is Alex.
Yes, we picked him up on a small island in the middle of the ocean. No idea how he got there. And now we're here and apparently crashed into... This is your house?
The man says, yes, this was our house. It's completely destroyed.
I don't know what happened.
While he's talking,
yes.
I'm gonna take out Key Lime and Aubergine.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try and have Key Lime start like heal pulsing. We'll start with probably like Cindy. If I can. Actually, yes, I can't heal humans, it's just half potency.
Yes, that's correct.
And Aubergine copycatting that, and then I'm gonna go over to the child and try healing him myself. Okay.
For clarity, Key Lime is heal pulsing Cindy. Aubergine is copycatting and healing whom?
Let's go with Schmidt.
Okay. And then you are physically healing Alex.
Yes.
Okay, roll those heals. I guess, yeah, it would be different heals. Let me see what Aubergine's damage formula is. And I am pausing the timer as we're like doing these things. So
right, because they're all.
Yeah.
If I'm like negative health, is the heal pulse like against the negative health, or is it?
If you receive any healing at all, we'll say that you go to 0. That threshold.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, it's only when you first initially take negative damage that it matters, because at that point on, you're just making saves. Like if you take damage when you are unconscious, that's just an automatic death save. So it's not like it actually matters until you hit the auto death, which you didn't, thankfully. I don't know how close you were, but you might have been kind of close.
Yeah, it was real close.
Yeah. Aubergine's heal pulse deals 2d12 plus 3 healing.
Okay. And so that would just be like 1d12 plus 3 for a human?
Correct.
Okay. I can roll those for Key Lime onto Cindy, Aubergine onto Schmidt, and me. For me onto Alex, I get to choose, right?
It's a health transfer. That is correct.
Right. So I'll give him 20 HP.
Okay, sure. All of this happens. Cindy regains consciousness. She's pretty beat up. Alex kind of coughs. He goes, where am I? Schmidt receives the healing. His breathing becomes more stable, but he is not conscious. And where he is pulled from the wreckage, give me a medicine check, actually, Elodie.
Will do.
What if we just like accidentally killed Schmidt, guys?
Real shit.
Imagine our actions having consequences.
That's crazy.
That's going to be a 14 on that medicine check.
Yeah, that's good enough. You can see that Schmidt, in efforts of protecting Alex, put himself in greater harm's way, and as stated, the mast kind of collapsed on his body. As he was pulled out from the wreckage and you are assessing him, it seems like his left arm from the shoulder is just, the ligaments and bones are not connected to his body, and he is not awake.
God.
He has HP. He is unconscious. He is perhaps comatose.
Okay. Would love to stay here and chat. We need to get this man to a hospital right now.
The aunt says, Alex, you're okay. And even though she fell over and she scraped her knee, she kind of holds him. And Alex is very confused. He's like, what's going on? I don't know. And at this time, the man says, listen, I don't think you're going anywhere. And his partner Pokemon is all big and imposing. And you can see that the neighbors in this neighborhood are kind of watching and kind of scrambling around. And off in the distance, roll a perception check, both of you, actually.
8.
21.
21's good enough. Gimli hears a sound that he just through his life has become characteristic with. It is the rhythmic barking of police Pokemon that are running over. This barking is signature to law enforcement. They will be here in 90 seconds. you are welcome to make decisions about your life until then.
This was a freak accident.
Do you say this?
It was.
I like whisper it to our crew.
We're not going anywhere. This was all a freak accident. But there's no way to explain it otherwise.
Can you see this man's shoulder? We would not have done this on purpose.
Roll persuasion.
Jesus Christ, my rolls today.
If anything, our friend here clearly tried to save your boy's life. So,
That'll be a 12.
I'd be a 12. He's not completely convinced. He thinks about it and he's putting the logic together, but he says, "How do we know this man wasn't just another product of your kidnapping, huh?"
So we kidnapped your son.
I point at Alex and I'm like, nephew. Did you tell your aunt and uncle about the voodoo ghost shit?
I'm going to make a roll for it.
Cindy swears?
Yeah.
Not
Kanan,
often.
she said shit. She said it. It's too late.
It's not. Elodie's at that point of delirium where she's like, Cindy, language.
That's shock,
Yes.
baby. Alex rolled high
Cindy's probably
enough for his recollection where he kind of looks at his aunt and he says, I don't think that they were trying to hurt me. He is trying to impart that he doesn't believe that you were all malicious. You guys have 20 seconds. Do you say anything or do anything?
Look, I don't think we kidnapped your nephew and then crashed a boat into your house. I don't think that makes sense.
We found him on an island.
Yeah, we're just as
Under
confused
a bunch
as you
of
are.
Corsola. We saved him from being trampled by Corsola.
Yeah, I have neglected to mention, I brought it up once, but there's just so many Corsola around.
He was nearly trampled by this.
I don't know how to explain this besides this is literally an act of nature. Like,
some
you
of
have
the,
insurance for this, right?
Arceus himself.
All right, stop. Calm
Word
down.
Arceus.
Cindy, calm down. You're clearly delirious.
just for the flavor, yeah, I kind of neglected to describe just how many Corsola there are around here. They're spilling into the streets. Some of them are unconscious, but a lot of them are fine. A couple of them have already started like playing with the broken bathroom pipe, where they're like kind of going into the air.
Water, let's go.
They're bringing a very strange contrast of tranquility and happiness to this terrible situation.
This is their house now.
They're vibing, dude.
Yeah, no,
sorry.
they're all
Sorry to
vibing.
say.
They all have smiles on their face and they're kind of just cooing. They're like, go, and they're all just kind of hanging out. The ones that are conscious. The ones that are unconscious are just knocked out, but they're also still smiling. Like they have not a care in the world. It is at this moment that 3 beautiful, massive, tiger-striped orange dog Pokemon ridden by law enforcement come over to the scene of this crime. They hop off of their dogs, and these are canine, circle around the debris around the house, and they say, "What happened here?" And they are kind of looking at the adults in the situation, which are Gimli and Alex's aunt and uncle. Gimli, do you attempt to explain anything before Alex's uncle does?
Yeah, I'll just get ahead of it.
Okay.
And kind of explain as I explained to Alex's uncle the terms of events. Do you want me to go through them again?
You don't necessarily have to, but you will have to make another charisma check.
Of course. Yeah, that's a given.
It could be strength if you were
my
trying to
son?
frighten the police, but I don't think you
I'm
are.
not trying to frighten the police with their
Okay.
arcanines. Okay.
I'm just saying you have a passive that turns charisma into strength. when you
I
intimidate.
do have that. You're absolutely right, but I think there's a time and a place for intimidation, and this is not it.
Yeah.
So, that is a 21 on the die.
On the
Dirty
die.
21.
Oh, not on the die. 18. On
I
the
was
die.
like, what in the world? How did you do
I
that?
don't know why I
Wow.
said on the die.
21-sided dice.
Dude, I'm crazy.
Yeah, that's a omega
Are
crit.
you rolling a D100? Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gimli uses his dad instincts to kind of calmly explain the situation, and this first law enforcement takes it pretty well. All things considered, this is truly a disaster, but they hear you out and they say, "Oh, you know what? I trust you. I believe that this wasn't intentional. You don't seem like a malicious bunch. There's someone here who's clearly very injured, and we've already called for medics, so he'll be taken care of. until we get to the bottom of the situation, I do insist that you come into custody with us down at the town hall.
That's totally fine.
Wow.
That's very reasonable.
While we're there,
Yeah.
I would like to telepathically communicate with Key Lime
Okay.
to tell her to stay behind and hide and look for the Hooper ring.
Okay. Sure. Give me a stealth right now for Key Lime.
Okay.
Can I offer a distraction as well?
If
to
you
help
want.
with this stuff?
Sure.
Like, I'm just gonna kind of be like to the officers, like, we will come into custody, but like we do want to help clean this up. Like, not that it was intentional, but like when shit happens like this, you
Very
gotta.
innocent of you to try to clean up a crime scene.
Yeah, give me a charisma.
But like we want to help. We want to help put the house back together. Like we didn't want we wanted this. Our boat is in shambles. We want to fix our boat. We want to fix the house. We want to fix our friend who is unconscious.
Yeah, give me charisma for this.
What is my charisma? +2. Okay. That's 12.
12. Alex's
Cindy's
aunt and
also
uncle.
frazzled.
Yeah, Alex's aunt and uncle and the law enforcement think you are a well-meaning but ignorant child, and they kind of just say, "Oh, that's very nice." As the law enforcement prepares handcuffs from their belts, and they intend to take the lot of you in. Did you roll that dex for the stealth for Key Lime?
Yes, I got a 14.
Okay, that is just enough.
Handcuffs.
Key Lime.
Yes, like, you don't need to handcuff us. we're coming.
Key Lime teleports behind some debris inside of these nuts and remains hidden, which is great. You tell them not to handcuff you?
Yeah, you don't have to do
I'm
that.
not
We're
saying
coming.
anything.
Yeah. They say,
It's not-
unfortunately, for a tragedy such as this, we have no choice for a crime of this scale. I hope you understand. Please be compliant. They do secure handcuffs to all of you unless you decide to resist.
No.
They also confiscate your bags and your Pokeballs unless you decide to hide them. They are going to be taking your belongings.
Yep, no need.
It is in this moment that you hear like a kind of what sounds like a high-pitched kind of church bell sound, like way down the road, and then out of nowhere, just like soaring above the ground is a large pink and white egg-shaped Pokemon, and it's going blee, and it's just rushing as fast as possible directly to Schmidt. And it kind of like floats down in the air a little bit that it was gliding from, and this Pokemon is wearing like a little medical hat, and running up behind it is a doctor, because they received the call that someone was greatly injured. And this Pokemon, being a Blissey, immediately starts attending to Schmidt. It has a huge smile on its face, and it's cheering. It's it's gently moving Schmidt around and applying some healing effects from its body. But Schmidt isn't really responding well at all. The doctor arrives and quickly examines each one of you for your injuries. Doesn't give you any treatment, but reports to the law enforcement that you all seem to be fine at the moment.
Please, doctor, just do what you can for our friend. He's clearly in bad shape.
The doctor, she kind of gives you a nod but doesn't really say anything. As you're all being handcuffed, the law enforcement says, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say may be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have them present with you while you are being questioned. If you do not have a preferred lawyer of the region to select, one will be appointed to represent you. And with that, there are like little carriage seats on the side of each of these 3 Arcanine that they put you into. And one of them also, one of the Arcanine carries Alex and his aunt and uncle away, because honestly, what are they going to do here? There's nothing here for them.
Yeah.
Their groceries are just kind of left on the ground. And with that, they start moving into the center of Dewford Town. As this is all happening, do you have anything you want to say? Any checks you want to make? Anything on your mind that you want to do before you arrive to wherever you are going?
Good thing we have a good lawyer.
We have a good lawyer. Can I just do like an insight check on these police officers for their like character?
Sure. Yeah, go
I
for
know
it.
that's weird. Okay. Oh, fabulous. That was an 18.
Okay, yeah. They seem like Gotta remind myself this is a fantasy world. They all seem like trustworthy individuals. The woman who's been doing the most talking seems to have a higher rank. And she has 2 masculine police officers with her that are kind of just like doing what she says. Based on how this is laid out, the Arcanine that this leader seems to be riding atop of is the one that is carrying Gimli and Elodie. Schmidt is still left behind being tended to, as is Keyline, but we can touch on that later. And then another Arcanine is carrying Alex's parents. Someone, we'll just say Cindy because she's not on this Arcanine. She's closer to the other ones. Give me a perception for listening.
That's a 9.
It's a 9. Okay. Yeah. You can tell that the one police officer that is carrying Alex and his family, his extended family, is just kind of collecting basic information about them. What their names are, how long they've lived here, stuff like that, what they think happened, etc. Any other things that you wish to do or say, despite your Miranda rights being known? Anything you wish to say to these cops as you head to wherever you're going?
Nope. Explain it all at the station where we're supposed to.
Silence is the best policy.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Golden rule.
You do that, despite what has occurred here. And as you are moving away and the cooing of the Corsola gets quieter and quieter, they're still just mulling about the neighborhood completely aimlessly. It's a beautiful night. It's about 8 p.m. The sun is fully set. When you're this far away from the mainland, the stars twinkle so brightly. This is probably the most beautiful sky vista you've seen, apart from the meteor shower, the Draconid shower, which of course was a very special event. But the sky is so much clearer out here. The ocean breeze is so nice. And if it wasn't for the events that just transpired, you'd be in a pretty good mood. It's nice. To your left seems to be to the north, where the beach is. And as you go deeper and deeper into town, you observe a nice little island settlement. There's some major buildings, the kind of amenities you would expect to see. There is a particular house that appears to have a lot of activity. It's not quite a house. It seems to be a business of some sort. And there's a big poster outside, and it says, Tyler Caldwell, all week. And apparently that there's some sort of event happening there. There are lights on. You can hear people cheering and clapping. You pass by a Pokemon Center. You pass by a basic kind of market, an open air outdoor market. You see a boat dock and a shipyard, and eventually you arrive at a courthouse/police station that is neighbored. It's nestled into some forest that is to the south on Dewford Town. The law enforcement escort you off of the Arcanine. You're still bound, and they take you to an area to be legally assessed. And Gimli is first in this queue. They put you up in front of a white wall that has measurements going up and down, and they prepare to take your mugshot. They ask what your name is.
Gimli Lodestone.
Lodestone. Very cool. That's not the cop who says that. That's me.
Whoa!
There's a flash as they take your photograph, and they move you into like kind of a holding area, and they take your handcuffs off. They also take note of Gimli's region of origin and city of origin, which is...
Sinnoh and Kanalav City.
Correct. Not like it's a quiz, but I just wanted you to say it.
You got it. I was like, I wrote it.
Up next is Elodie.
Elodie Gabena.
Okay. And where are you from?
Lumiose City, Kalos.
Great. They uncuff you and... Ooh. Hold on. Everyone give me just a D20. And
1.
Nice.
18.
18? What was that, Elodie?
Also 1.
Oh, shit.
We both got 1. Let's go.
I was going to say, Cindy, you could use your passive here to reroll it, but I don't think with Elodie's one it matters. It seems that they put Gimli and Elodie into separate holding areas, separate cells. It seems that that's the intention for all of you. Cindy, you're the last one up. What do you tell the law enforcement?
I'm Cindy.
Just Cindy?
Yup.
They say, okay, Cindy, where are you from?
My grandparents are the Berry Masters, so I grew up at their house, which isn't really in a city.
this courthouse worker makes a check. They say, okay, you have a Mauville address. I think we can look that up. And they ask, and how old are you? Noticing that you're quite young.
Uh-oh.
Is today my birthday or is it tomorrow?
It's tomorrow.
14.
They say, thank you. And they escort you to a holding cell. They take off your cuffs. The three of you are in prison. You are
Harmonica
separated.
spawns in my hand.
Sorry?
Harmonica spawns in my hand.
No, it doesn't.
Came out of nowhere.
Roll a d20.
Came out of nowhere.
I was gonna ask if there's like a metal cup I could clank on the bars.
Kidding.
What'd you
Oh,
get on your
harmonica.
d20?
I got a 7.
Okay, no, there's no harmonica.
I know.
So you are each in roughly pretty generous holding cells. They're about 20 feet of area. So 10 feet on each side. They're squares. They're side by side. All three walls are just like stone, except for the southern facing walls, which are prison bars. Each one has like a very hard looking bed and a toilet. And directly across from you, you can see there's like a storage locker where they're putting all of your belongings, securing a combination lock to this locker. And there's some talking in another room, blah, blah, blah. So they're saying something. You guys can roll a perception, I suppose, to see if you can make out. One of you guys needs a 20. If you just all roll d20s, you would need a 20 to hear what they're saying.
I got a 9.
Okay.
Baby, that's a 24.
It was natural 20, though? That's what I meant, sorry.
No.
Yeah.
Oh. No, it wasn't a natural 20.
Okay. Should have specified, my bad. Not DC 20. There's some murmuring, probably not important. And then an individual, a guy who seems like maybe he's like an intern or like studying to be a cop, enters the room, closes the door, sits on a chair, pulls out a magazine. And you see each of your cells has a window that is also barred. And then in the southwest corner of the room, there is a perch up against the wall, which is kind of odd to see here. And atop it, there is an owl Pokemon with large eyes and a crest, and is just kind of looking at each of you, almost curiously. Allow me to draw this room real quick. Just so you guys know what's going on
Are we
here.
about to have combat in here? Like what?
That's up to you.
We don't have Pokemon.
That is correct.
Gang
You
goes
don't
to
have
jail.
Pokemon.
I fought a man with my fist twice.
We're not
Also,
breaking out of prison.
I also fought a man with my fist, but I think I was more successful.
Gimli and Cindy break out of prison, and Elodie just doesn't get the memo.
Listen, I need you guys to have all of the options given to you, whether or not you wish to take them. I think that's important. And I also just felt like kind of drawing this. So if
Since he's a child, there are no real legal repercussions.
as a minor, I mean, you can still go to juvie. What are you
Is
doing?
there a metal cup in here?
Roll a d20.
Just pretending to be every jailhouse like film you've ever seen.
Yeah, because I'm a child. Just a straight D20.
Yeah,
13.
13. There's no loose objects to your knowledge. But the toilet in your cell has like a loose washer that you've identified. It is metal. It's just a small little
Excellent.
ring that you can take off of the handle.
Excellent. I would like to do that and start essentially singing my sea shanty, but while also hitting this metal washer on the bars.
Great. Give me a performance.
It's a nat 1.
Yeah, great. Do you want to use your
That she
passive
That
or
was
no?
my
Just
intent.
literally-
Honestly, this is really what I wanted.
Literally, the microphone didn't pick it up. She was cackling from the other room.
It's awful. It's so bad. No one can stand it.
I was like, Elodie, why did you wake her?
I'm sorry.
Could have just went to the hospital and we could have been fine here.
It immediately draws the attention of the owl, and it's just really keenly staring down Cindy as she's just mumbling incoherent nonsense that's kind of melodic, kind of rhythmic, but she's just kind of slamming the washer against the bars. And this guy that's sitting in this chair reading the magazine says, "Stop it. What do you think you're doing?" And he like goes over and he goes to grab for the washer. Do you give it to him willingly?
I'm just trying to kill time. You get a magazine. I got nothing.
He's going to try and take the washer from you. Do you prevent it?
I'm not like letting him have it, but I'm also like in a cell. So like he'd have to like reach for it.
He reaches for it and he rolled pretty well. So I think he's going to be able to confiscate it.
What am I rolling?
I guess, yeah, let's do opposed dex, actually. That's more fair. Roll dex.
Opposed dex.
Yeah. You don't have sleight of hand.
13.
Right? Okay. Yeah.
What?
You don't have sleight of hand as a skill, right?
I do.
You
I
do?
have +5. Yeah.
+5 for sleight of hand. What
That's
the
huge.
heck?
Yeah.
What? Why haven't you been stealing more shit? What?
Yeah, wait.
He's not evil.
You don't have to be evil to steal.
He's a child.
You just have to be chaotic.
What
I
did,
am.
so what does that change your roll to?
What's 12 plus 5?
17.
Yeah, that.
You actually tie him, and while ties favor the attacker, this guy kind of sucks. So I'm just actually not going to give it to him. He reaches for the washer, and you kind of pull it away, and he's like, "All right, I guess that goes to the toilet anyways, but you better not be making any more racket."
Can I sing without the washer? He can't take my voice.
Are you asking him or are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking the DM.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, you can sing.
Yeah.
I am just killing time.
Okay.
Oh, you're killing me, not time.
Yeah. This guard is going to make a
Cindy
roll.
might be having a psychotic break.
That's fair. Schmidt had one with the Altaria dolls, so I think it's Cindy's turn.
She's never been to prison. She's a
You
child.
or any of us. Unless Gimli has and I don't know about it.
Oh.
Let me tell you a story.
Oh no! You want to regale the times of when I was a young man.
Based on this individual's role, he says, "You know what? That's enough." And he says, "Noctowl, help me out." And Noctowl hops down from the perch and it goes, "Whoo, whoo," and it stares at Cindy. And Cindy has to make a con save DC 14.
Did I get any HP or am I just like conscious at 1?
You got a heal pulse amount of HP. I don't remember what
I don't know what that. I don't think it was ever said.
I
To
did
have
roll it. Let me see if I can remember it.
I'm sorry.
I did
It
roll.
was never
No, it's okay.
said, and I didn't.
Yeah,
Get
things were happening. I forgore.
I forgot.
You got the heal pulse from Key Lime. I'll re-roll it because
Okay, that's fine.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
It's
If
good
I'm
to
about
know.
to take damage,
On save, you're not taking damage on.
Oh, you could.
I don't. I
It
could
could.
be.
It hasn't been
Probably
specified.
like hypnosis or something.
That's
If I'm about
11.
11. Yeah, 11 HP. Garby was onto something. This is in fact hypnosis. What was your con save?
My con's -1.
Yes, it is.
That's a 3.
Yeah, Cindy is conked. She's asleep.
Let's go. Thank you so much.
Is that ethical?
We're in jail. We have no room to talk about ethics right now.
Do I know enough about the legal system of Hoenn to know if that's like allowed?
Yeah, roll intelligence.
Okay.
Also, we have a lawyer we can call that I will be complaining to when
No, we don't.
we have that up.
Only Schmidt has the phone.
Yeah, but we tell them that that's our lawyer, and they will contact him for us.
I got
That's how the
21.
law
What was
works.
his name? Clementine Sawyer.
But that was his name.
Yeah.
21 for your intelligence check.
Yes.
Kalos does something kind of similar. It has been determined by many governments that the most ethical way to calm someone who's rowdy, it's typically used for drunk people who are intoxicated. There's Pokemon that can specialize in hypnosis and offers just really sound sleep and really pleasant dreams. So you can assume that that's what this Noctowl is assigned to.
It's completely ethical. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But Cindy's
It's
not
going on
drunk.
To them or something. I don't know.
Man, Noctowl sounds like a great investment. Like, who needs melatonin or anything when you could just like have a Noctowl?
You're in your cells. The guard is reading the magazine. You know the layout of the room. Is there anything that you would like to do or ask or roll for while you are here?
Well, Cindy's unconscious again, so yeah.
Correct.
I think now that Elodie has had a moment of peace to think,
Mhm.
Sorry.
It's okay.
It is peaceful. in your
I will ask the guard
Mhm.
if he heard about what happened in Lava Ridge.
Roll a charisma check.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we're heroes, guys.
Oh my god. Wait, we did that. Have you heard of
We-
Deoxys?
On a volcano.
I feel like less people heard about that.
Have you heard
situation.
of
no one
Pablo the
fucking heard of
Pichu?
Yeah.
Heard of
Hey,
Pablo
do you know
Pichu?
Pablo? That's so funny.
Um,
Imagine.
For charisma, that was a dirty 20.
Nice, very good. The guard kind of peers at you over his magazine. He can see you from where he's sitting. He can't see Gimli. And he says, "Yeah, I heard about it. What of it?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I was just remembering that something like crazy happened there recently. I mean, what I'm referring to, right, is the volcano erupting, and that there were some people who helped to save the city from being completely overrun with lava. Did you see that?
Let me roll for him again. He says, "Yeah, I've read about it. They said they were the Packo, I think. And what of it? I'm not supposed to talk to the inmates."
Well, it's just, we're the Packo, and injustice is happening every day. And if we're here, then we can't stop.
Stop
those things.
volcano.
There's injustice happening every day.
Elodie moment, honestly. Yeah, dude, this guy is a little incredulous. He says, "If you're the Packo, then where's your Quacko, huh?"
He
A hospital.
were you at the rubble at the were you there?
He says, "I don't know anything about you guys. I'm just assigned here until I get promoted."
Yeah.
Right.
Unfortunately, Quacko and Schmidt truly are fearless leaders. They were really badly injured. So they are at the hospital right now.
This guy
Evidence
says,
do I have?
he says, "I don't know if I believe you. And besides, volcanic eruptions are not a good enough reason to help you guys out."
Well,
How recent is the magazine he's reading? Would an article about that event be in the magazine?
It's a little dark in here, and you'd really have to peer at it. It seems like you want to be involved, so I want you to make a save to wake up. Let me look at my rules for that, because I forget, and that's why we keep everything in the Discord, but you're rolling a d20 for sure.
Let me see if I can see his
Excellent.
magazine.
Yeah, you can roll that. We would call that invest, because we know what we're looking for, which is the details of it, so you can investigate that.
All right,
I got
14.
a 6 on the die for wake up.
Okay, we'll give you another chance to wake up in like 5 minutes, probably.
Yeah, it's a 14 for me.
14?
Yeah.
You can see that the magazine he's reading is Hoenn Science Weekly. With that roll, you do not make out the issue date, but
Okay.
it's just a bunch of nerd shit, really.
well,
Volcanoes are kind of nerdy.
They
they
are,
are.
that's true.
They're science.
Mhm,
They are
Mhm.
very science related.
mhm.
I mean,
I mean, you're reading Science Weekly. Is there nothing about the eruption in there?
He says, "Wait, how long ago was the eruption? It's about a week. God, this game's
Yeah.
crazy." He says, it was the cover article on the last issue. This one, they're talking about the meteor shower."
oh, we were there too. Actually, does it say anything about that?
What did it talk about with the media show?
He's kind of warming up to you guys, but he's still kind of suspicious. He says, "Let me see." It says, "This year's famous Draconid meteor shower happened. One of the most beautiful displays in many, many years." He keeps looking at it, keeps going through it. He says, "Witness reports a loud explosion of bright light and sounds of reported violence. No substantiated claims, but
You want to hear some substantiated claims?
he gets a little curious, and he stands up and he goes over to where he can see Gimli. He says, What are you talking about?
Well, we were there inside that light.
He said, okay, why was there a fight at the meteor shower?
Well, do you know of a Pokemon called Deoxys?
Does he? We'll see. He says, yeah, but that thing's mythical. I don't even think it's real.
Well, hate to tell you, or maybe I would love to tell you, because it's really cool, but it's real.
Really cool. We almost died.
It was awesome. I've never felt more alive in my life.
His eyes get really wide, and he's like, you're telling me you're the Packo, and you saw Deoxys, and you know it's real. How did you live to tell the tale?
Barely.
Because
Cindy
we're
mumbles
very-
barely in her sleep.
Oh, barely. Well, you
No,
just say that a lot. That's like every moment of your life is barely living.
No, because the boat situation was definitely like closer to death, I feel.
Yeah, honestly.
I think the Agron and
Oh, true.
You guys are
Yeah,
just
yeah,
always
yeah.
almost dying. So there's
No, not. Yeah, it's like not all of us. I've never almost died, actually. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just let
I
it-
mean,
I guess we can proceed to describe that. Like, okay, so let me tell you about this encounter with Deoxys because it was
yeah, we describe it
reflecting
in
on
detail
sounds
to him.
Really cool.
Yeah. Give me
Recap episode.
Sure. Yeah, give me a charisma check for storytelling, and Elodie, you can contribute if you want, if you're going to pitch in. And
Yes.
Cindy, you can roll to wake up again.
I crit.
You credit?
I crit the story.
Nice. I'm curious
I
what
rolled a
Elodie got.
10 on the die.
I
to
got a
wake
9.
up.
A 9. And what did you get, Cindy?
A 10 on the die.
Okay, yeah, you do wake up now.
Sick.
And yeah, with the crit, this dude is engaged. He's sit crisscross applesauce in front of Gimli, and his eyes are twinkling. And he's listening to the story of Deoxys, and he just can't believe it's real. He put his magazine down, and he is just so enamored. He says, "Wow, I can't believe it! You guys really are the Packo. I didn't know that Deoxys had so many forms. And you said Deoxys is still there?"
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Got way too into it.
We probably should not have told
I
him
just got
that.
so into it. Yeah, but you can't tell anyone that it's there because who knows if it falls into the wrong hands, you know?
Yeah, you rolled so well. He's like, he draws a zipper over his lips. He says, "I would never tell anyone. I swear,
course.
never." He says, "If you guys are such valiant heroes, then how'd you end up here?"
Well, that's what I was saying.
Tell that to the
police.
Corsola.
Well, that's what we were telling the police when we were at
Corsola.
at the house that was destroyed. It's like obviously these crazy things have been happening to us. This was just another crazy thing. And we just we found Alex, and then our boat just crash landed at his house.
Yeah, this guy loves Gimli. He thinks he's so cool. He doesn't really care about the other two, but he's just like, man, Gimli rules.
He's a Gimli fanboy.
He says, "Yeah, Dewford Town has this habit of really, we always get news kind of late. So our community, like people my age," and he's kind of young, you know, he's probably like late teens, early 20s. He says, "Everyone really like latches on to things. And like the word of what's been going on with you guys with the volcano and with, I guess, Deoxys now, it hasn't really crossed the ocean yet. But I'm telling you, I think once people hear about it, they're gonna be all over it, and they're gonna be talking about it down at the community center. And it's probably we have a sister organization, Lily Cove, and you guys must be heroes. This is so exciting."
We have done a lot, but I mean, it's I know why we're here. It's completely understandable. Someone's house is destroyed, so it's completely fine. I just want to be able to talk to them, make our case, and I want to be able to do something for them because obviously this is
If we
This
can
was a
fix
terrible-
a volcano, we can fix a house.
Right. Like we want to help, fix this for sure.
But right now we're just sitting in a jail cell, and we would just love to talk to somebody instead of just sitting. No.
Yeah. This guard says, "Well, I think they're keeping you here because our legal representatives, they're off the clock. So we're just going to be holding you at least until morning." That's what they told me. I probably shouldn't tell you that, but that's why I've been
Call our
assigned.
lawyer.
Do you think we might need a lawyer for this situation? I mean,
Let him
you
make a
probably
roll.
shouldn't tell us, but
he says, look, I may not be the highest rank, but I've been practicing a lot. I really want to be a good cop someday. And I know that the gravity of your crime, you will definitely be tried in court.
Okay.
Call our
That's good to know.
lawyer.
So we should probably.
Packo goes to court.
He asks, do you have a lawyer? Who could be the Packo's lawyer?
We do. We do.
We do have a lawyer.
We do have a lawyer, yeah. Do you know Clementine Sawyer?
He's in Mauville.
He's in Mauville.
He says, rolling. He says, yeah, it rings a bell. I've definitely seen his name on paperwork before. Is that your representative?
He's a big fan of some of my Pokemon, one in particular. So he helps us out with things like this.
He says, oh, wow. That's really exciting. I don't know. You said he's in Mauville, right?
Right.
Said,
Probably the biggest lawyer in Mauville, I would say.
This guard says, listen, I'm probably not supposed to help you guys out, but I feel like you're going to be holed up for a while if he doesn't take the journey soon. So why don't I get you on the phone and one of you guys can call him over? How's that?
Yeah, I could talk to him.
He
update him on Lizzie and stuff. Yeah.
The guard nods, and you get the sense that you were the only one he was going to let out, anyways.
Yeah. True.
He gets you out of the cell. He unlocks it with the key that he attaches to his belt, and he kind of puts his hands behind you, just like as if you were handcuffed, but you're not. And he says, "Oh, come with me. I'll show you where the phone is. We can get him called." And he escorts you out of the room to like a little private, not private, but it's a phone area that someone who is detained would use, and you are allowed to use it. Before you make this call, check in with Elodie and Cindy.
I don't know. I know it seems right now like he's just letting him have a phone call.
Yeah.
But in case he does let him out for more, I'm going to say to Gimli, ask him if he's had any key lime pie lately if you get the chance.
Lawyer?
To Gimli.
I know, but ask the lawyer?
What I'm meaning for Gimli to interpret is that if he gets the chance, if he can check on key lime.
Yeah. Yeah. I need a deception for the guard.
I'm still in jail.
I know, but like if something happens.
All right.
Sure.
Deception.
As far as deception goes, that was a 16.
Okay. That's good enough for the guard to think that like you're being kind of weird, but doesn't think it's a code or anything. So
okay.
And
these weird lawyers.
Yeah. Gimli, you were placed with a phone in your hand. The guard says it's kind of late. It's like 9:30 p.m. But lawyers, they're working all the time. They'll probably pick up. Again, the sooner you can get over here, the better. And he gives you the number to dial. Do you call Clementine Sawyer?
I do.
The man picks up. Clementine Sawyer, law office. How can I help you?
Hey, Clementine, it's Gimli. You know the one with Lizzie the Shuckle?
Oh, you're the one who travels with Schmidt, my boy. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
He says, "Oh, it's so good to hear from you. I hope things are going well. I'm sorry I don't have any updates for Schmidt's case. The Johto government's kind of on a lockdown and they have bigger fish to fry. So far I've just been tending to my other duties. But what can I help you with?"
So we're in a bit of a pinch right now, and we're afraid that there might be some legal troubles involved. And I was hoping that we could get your counsel or at least someone in your firm that could swing by Duford.
He makes a roll. He says, "Yeah, it depends on how soon. Can you give me without too much detail? Can you kind of tell me what's been going on?"
There was a bit of I'll say a vehicular accident involving a house. I can get into more details when if and when the lawyer can arrive, but just to get a complete detail of it. But that's the gist of it. Well, me and a couple of our associates are currently held up in a cell, and Schmidt, our young friend, is in the hospital at the moment due to the accident. So we're in quite a bit of a bind, but I've been advised by my friend here that we might need some legal representation if it comes down to it. So
Clementine says, "Schmidt's been injured. You guys are in prison? Where are you being kept?"
I think in the Duford County Jail or something, it seems.
The guard nods. He says, "Duford Town," but yes, close enough. Clementine says, Understood. I'll take a ship out there tomorrow. I'll be ready. I'll be ready to defend you guys.
Oh, I appreciate and Lizzie's here for Lizzie's excited to see you, so it's been a little while.
Clementine goes, "Oh boy, Juckle time. I'll be on my way."
Absolutely.
And he clicks up the phone. The guard says, "All right, it's probably good you got him heading over early, but I got to take you back. Hope that's okay."
No, I appreciate just the phone call. You've been so great.
He begins to escort you back to the holding cell. Elodie and Cindy, before they make it back, just checking in on you if you want to make any checks.
Dirty is the cell.
It's not terrible.
Can I give the bars a good shake?
Sure. What are you trying to accomplish?
Knocking them down. Never mind.
Sturdy. I thought you said dirty. I was like,
Oh yeah.
I was like, it's not.
I want to clean them because they're gross.
Yeah.
My strength check for shaking them was a 3, so
Okay.
nothing happens anyway.
I imagine you're just like ferally, like all your like feet and hands both on the bars, just trying to shake it. It's just not moving, and you look feral.
Yeah.
Cindy is feral right now. You've unlocked feral, Cindy.
This may have been one of the most impossible checks you've tried, I think.
Yeah, I would think so.
So yeah, you're not. This is not happening. I'm sorry.
Oh, great.
Ask the guard about your son.
I could now, yeah.
True.
Before we get too
He's
too
about
deep,
the age that he might know.
yeah. Before we get in it, I just want to illustrate that the guard has returned Gimli to the cell, locked it, returned to his seat, and you guys can have at whatever you're going at.
Right. Okay. So I was telling all these stories. I never got your name. What's your name, son?
He looks around cautiously, like he's not supposed to be talking with you guys, but he's taking a shining to Gimli. He says, I'm Eric."
Eric, have you seen my boy Gimli? He's been told to be around here.
Making a roll. He says, "I don't know anyone by that name, and I don't think I've ever seen anyone who looks like you, so I'm sorry."
I mean, he'd be about your age, and he definitely doesn't have the beard I do.
He thinks on it, and he says, "Doesn't ring a bell."
Much taller. Yeah, he's much taller than me too. My boy's a big boy. I'm down here really looking for him. That's one of the reasons we were on our way here in the first place before the crazy accident happened. So, hoping to find my son. So, I mean, I know we're in a jail cell now, but if you hear that he's around, I would really appreciate just a shout out.
Eric asks, "Is he also a hero?"
He's doing heroic things for sure. That's one of the reasons I'm looking for him, because we're kind of doing the same thing, unintentionally, but
Oh yeah,
now we're on the same path.
He looks very inspired, and he says, "Wow, you guys have such exciting lives. I wanted to go into policing because I thought it would be exciting, but imagine being an adventurer."
Sometimes it's almost too exciting.
I mean, it's not too late if you still,
Yeah,
wanna
it's
be an
never too late
adventurer.
to be an adventurer, you know?
Also, you can be a police adventurer and find my missing grandparents.
Jesus Christ, are you guys okay?
And we're all missing family members.
The three of you roll charisma checks.
I crit
21.
again.
He loves you. He's gonna propose.
What are the other rolls?
I got a 21.
Holy shit.
Okay.
He's fucking hypnotized. With
Yeah.
those riz.
He kind of stands up and he says, "You know what? I am gonna be a hero. I'm the hero, Eric." And he stands up and he's really triumphant, and he makes a decision. He decides to open all of your cells.
What?
Hell yeah.
And
Running away from the
he
police.
says, you've inspired me, and you know what? Right now I quit." And he takes off his badge. He throws it on the ground, and he says, "What are we doing, Quacko Packo? I'll fill in for Schmidt. I'm the new Schmidt, Eric, new Schmidt."
I'm gonna cry.
Now, Eric, I don't want you to just quit your job. We're saying it's never too late, but we're kind of still prisoners right now, and I appreciate it.
He's breathing
do have to
very
follow the
heavily,
law.
and he says, I've made up my mind. It's happening right now. We're going to find your son. We're going to find her grandparents. And he points to Cindy. And he says, and we're going to help out whatever the heck that she needs help with. And he points to Elodie.
We already did that. That was cupcakes. That's another story if you want to listen to that one.
Everybody's missing family members. All I had to do was deliver cupcakes.
Yeah, we can tell you about the delivery cupcake story if you want. We just need to calm down.
Well.
He's going to roll for calming down. He does not. Got to.
He does not calm down.
He's just looking at all of you guys very expectantly like a puppy. He's...
So since Cindy in all of her chaotic energy feels like because she got put to sleep by Noctowl, feels like she has like a bond with this Pokemon.
Yeah.
She's like, can you make him calm down?
Ooh, sure. Roll roll Pokemon handling.
16 plus 5 is 21.
Yeah, that's great. The Noctowl looks at Cindy like really intensely, like they have a shared connection for some reason, and then gives like a really quick nod and goes whoo, and it looks directly at Eric. Eric makes a con save. He fails. He gets a 10, and he just falls to the ground. He's honk shooing. He's honking me, and so.
All right, let's put ourselves back in these cells.
Just leave the doors open and just sit. Like I don't.
We can, yeah.
Guys,
Yeah.
I might leave
Why?
because Key Lime is alone right now, and I don't know what's happening to her. And Cabbage is alone right now. Well, I guess
What do you mean?
she's
Key
got
Lime's
grape juice.
alone?
I left Key Lime at the crime scene to
Yeah,
look
you
through
did
the
that
rubble for the
deceptively. I
Hooper
didn't
ring.
fucking see it.
Well, I'm explaining this now. That Key
What?
Lime
Why did you
is at
do
the
that?
crime scene. Because first of all, the Hooper ring is very useful, and second of all, it should not be in the wrong hands.
Okay, but like.
Third of
they
all,
would
if
know
they
what-
figure out what it does, then they can trace this back to us and say that we
Elodie,
caused
we
it.
don't even know what it does.
We do. It causes portals.
Okay, we didn't even know how it really worked.
And the child was the one who made the portal.
It's true.
The child, as if he's not a year or two younger than Cindy.
Like
Regardless,
Am I gonna be spending my birthday in jail?
probably.
Oh.
We have to be
Regardless-
realistic.
3 of my Pokemon are gone right now, and I feel like I need to go find them.
True, you did basically cause the problem.
So I think that I'm gonna go. I don't know what my cover story is going to be, but I will come back, hopefully, before this man wakes up.
Well, he was gonna go with us, so
I was like, I will stay here because we're expecting a lawyer and there should be somebody in prison. So if I have to, I will stay here.
I mean, Cindy doesn't have anything better to do. She's gonna stay and continue singing.
So
Okay.
I will not stop you. I understand you want to save your Pokemon and whatnot. At the end of the day, we do have some kind of responsibility to the situation.
Are we splitting the party, so to speak?
That is up to
I
Grace.
believe I think I'm gonna exit.
Oh, are you gonna
Jail.
take your things from the locker?
Good question. I will take my Pokeballs, but I will leave everything else.
Okay, there is a combination lock on the locker.
Oh, fun. Then maybe not.
And Cindy use sleight of hand to open this locker.
Yeah, it's going to be a dex check. It's DC 18.
Oh, literally one shy. It's a 17.
Damn, it's too bad.
I'll attempt to break it.
You going to break the lock?
Yep.
Does it have a keyhole? Because a lot of combination locks also have a keyhole, and the guy has keys.
The back does have a combination lock. That's correct. Or sorry,
I
the back
rolled
has a
I rolled
keyhole.
an I rolled an 18 on the kick to break the lock.
You're going to kick it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that does break it. There's kind of like a and the lock clicks open.
Yeah, take your things. Me and Cindy
Okay.
will be here. We'll hold down the fort.
Thank you.
You got to do what you got to do.
I will leave.
Okay.
I take my stuff and go.
reviewing, you have access to your inventory. The things that you don't have are the Hooperine, and you have the Pokeballs for cabbage and grape juice, but they are not present. And you have aubergine and key lime in the other balls, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the only two I have with me right now are bubblegum and aubergine.
Yeah. That checks out. You go to exit the cell. There's a bit of a hallway, and then it leads to like the area where you had your photos taken, and then there's a door that leads to the outside. Are you proceeding cautiously? Are you proceeding confidently? What is your motive here?
Yeah, I will check if there's anybody around, if I can.
Okay. Yeah, roll perception. What?
Nat 1.
Oh.
It was a nat 1.
There was a sound
no.
before it that was very funny.
Yeah,
sounding.
what the hell was that?
I don't know.
Were you very close to your
It was
mic?
me. Yeah, I was blowing a raspberry.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, that was it.
That explains it.
Nat 1. Is that
Yeah.
what you- holy shit! Yeah. There's no one here.
All right. I'll leave.
Okay.
Confidently just walk out.
Yep. There's toward to your right. There's a big wall that is like mostly a mirror. And you hear a door open, and they say, "Hey, where are you going?"
Me? I'm leaving.
Yeah. This person, it seems like a higher rank police officer. And they say, "What do you mean you're leaving? Did Eric let you out?"
Yeah. He said we're good to go.
He said, "I'm the one who gives Eric that order. This is pretty suspicious. Tell me where you think you're going."
Leaving. Just told you.
Just to see the guy at the
Going.
thing.
Yeah. Tyler Caldwell.
Go to see Tyler Caldwell.
Your perception check was pretty bad. This is a pretty bad situation. You get one charisma check to weasel your way out of it. It's DC 17 charisma.
Okay.
You can add your proficiency.
Fabulous. With adding my proficiency, that'll be 26.
Plus Riz. Yeah.
Oh, 26.
26.
Holy shit. Elodie's rizzed out in public.
Absolutely. The absolute wizard.
Yeah, seriously. This individual thinks about it and is pretty confused for a second and looks at like a clipboard with some papers and flips through it. And he says, "Oh, are you Sarah from Unova?"
Yeah, that's me.
He says, "Yeah. You're the champion's granddaughter. You have amnesty to go to special events. Yeah. It says here I'm allowed to escort you. So,
I'm sorry. Champion's grandchildren have amnesty to go to events?
Yeah.
This guy says, well, sometimes for the sake of protection, law enforcement are assigned to protect people who are of high status. And we don't hold them here as prisoners, but we do kind of take care of them and help them get around. So if you want to go to the show, I think you're late. We should probably get going."
Yeah, for real. For sure. I think I asked that after I pretended to be the person who he's escorting. Oh, wait. I have amnesty? No. Yeah. We're definitely so excited for this Tyler Caldwell thing.
Yeah, he says, yeah, you can do whatever you want, but yeah, you just need to be protected. You don't have a security outfit, so that's our job. So yeah, I'll go with you. This guy says, "Eric, you got it, right?"
Pretend to be Eric.
You're whispering, so I can't hear what you said.
I was saying, somebody pretend to be Eric.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
Roll a deception.
Who's rolling the deception?
Oh, Gimli.
Yeah, 14.
Yeah, that's good enough. This cop says, "All right, let's get going," and walks next to you, looking very authoritatively, heading out of the building towards the community center.
He's gonna kill me one day.
I guess I should just check in real quick with Gimli and Cindy if they're doing anything in particular.
I told Cindy to go back into her cell.
Did you lock her in or just put her there?
No, I was like, "Sit here, child, please. Here's your washer. Have a good time. I'm gonna sit here and meditate as much as I can."
Do the cops not want to talk to us tonight to figure out what happened?
No, we just went. They have a legal team that they bring. Eric explained that. You don't listen to Eric. I know you're a little feral child, but
Eric is the most important person in this campaign. You gotta listen to him.
right.
He's also an intern. That doesn't mean he knows everything.
Yeah.
And
You
they're not
get
talking to
the
us, right?
impression that based on the size of this building, and how few cells they have, it's a pretty small town. And so
Yeah.
like they don't have a lot of major issues happen all the time. So they might not be properly equipped to like deal with things right as they happen, such as this.
Yeah, it's slow moving.
Yeah. Anything you guys want to do while you're free in your cells and Eric's taking a snooze?
Nope. Just close up the locker, put everything back in place, and just wait.
Okay. The lock is broken, but you can.
I'm just closing it. I'm
Okay.
just leaving with the cell doors open. We're not hiding anything. It's like,
Got it.
nope, Eric's asleep. The doors are open.
Eric rolled a 6 to wake up, so he will.
He's honk shoeing.
He's honk shoeing. Okay. You're walking through town. It's like 9:30 p.m. Melody. You got a cop with you to go to a show. Exactly what you were trying to do. You're getting pretty close to the community center. Are you doing anything, saying anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, actually, it's kind of a nice night out. Maybe it would be better to, just go for a walk around town.
You're
you,
kind of
like,
pitching
going
this
on a
as
date with
like
this
this
cop?
could be like a kind of a fun idea kind of thing to do.
Yeah,
Okay.
like instead of going to the show.
You're just
We'll see the
like
show tomorrow.
you're literally taking this cop out on a weird date.
I do need to ask if you are suggesting this in like a flirty way.
Oh my god. You know what? Why not?
Yeah, okay.
If Schmidt can go on a date, Elodie can go on a date too.
That does lower the DC
Elodie.
if it is flirty.
Elodie X random cop and Dufort.
Listen, you can
What's
learn
his
his name.
name?
Yeah.
Listen, that's for the walk. What is
That's
this
true.
check?
Charisma.
It's for the wall.
11.
With the flirt, it's like just shy, but he could potentially be convinced. He says, "It is a really nice night, but my job's my job. I gotta take you to the show. Sorry."
But I mean, what is the show even about?
This guy says, Tyler Caldwell's gonna be here for a week. He's a guy who's like really popular with this community. They really like what's hip and happening, and he always just says these really profound, inspirational things, and people will just kind of gather in a room and just listen to what he has to say. So, if I had to categorize him, I guess he's a motivational speaker.
I mean, I feel, pretty motivated myself. And I think, I like talking. I'd rather talk motivational than go and listen to somebody else talk motivational. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you got some motivational things that we could talk about.
This guy says, well, all right. Well, what you got? Give me something motivational.
Motivate the man.
You are, for clarity, real quick, you're standing right outside of this community center, and you're definitely in the eavesdrop of someone who's standing outside who looks like really eager to talk to people. Keep that in mind.
Okay. Recently was talking about how you're never too young to be an adventurer and to go on your own adventure and to carve your own path, You're never too old. Did I say too young? I meant too old.
That only makes it more charming. Or maybe that's just how the quote is. roll a charisma check.
Okay. This time was a 14.
Okay, yeah. This guy, the cop, says, that is pretty inspiring. I bet as the champion's granddaughter, you've done a lot of really cool things, huh?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the champion is just so cool, and I've been on so many, adventures with my Pokemon myself. Do you want to meet a couple of my Pokemon?
This guy says, let me roll for him. He says, yeah, maybe. When you get interrupted, the person who's been kind of eavesdropping says, I'm sorry, did you just have something motivational to say?
I may have, yes.
This person says, I really like what's hip and happening and trendy. I'm always checking it out. Have you heard about Tyler Caldwell? He's on stage right now. Of course you know. She's Tyler Caldwell's the hottest thing and cool. Wherever you're from, Tyler Caldwell's the biggest thing happening, right? Well, you said something kind of inspiring. What was that you said? You have to tell me. What's new? What's in?
Yeah, what's in right now is the fact that you're never too old to be an adventurer.
This guy says, you're never too old to be an adventurer?
I click the A button.
Yeah, he says, this guy says, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I knew that. I knew that all along. Of course I knew about that. You're never too old to be an adventurer. Right, yeah, that's it. It's there. Isn't you're never too old to be an adventurer the coolest or what? It's the hippest thing in hip. You think I wouldn't know about it? Tyler Caldwell, so 5 minutes ago. Now, you're never too old to be an adventurer is what's vital and in tune with the times. Hey, guys! And he, goes inside, and you can hear him kind of, there's, a record scratch, and you hear this guy shouting, guess what, everyone? And he's sharing this news, and...
You're never too old to be an adventurer. Oh, God.
You have thoroughly impressed... this cop that you're with because you have given to Duford Town the new coolest thing and cool. As a Duford resident, they're pretty restricted to their media because they're so far away from the mainland. And he's like, wow, Champion's granddaughter, you are so cool. Let's go on this walk.
All right.
I like
Let's
how
do
you
it.
both don't have names. Like he's just some cop and you're just Champion's granddaughter.
Oh, no,
I know,
she's
Riley,
Sarah.
why is he calling me that?
Yeah,
You're Sarah.
he's
He
very
knows that.
formal.
He,
Well, yeah, so you gotta tell him, like, you can just call me Sarah, like, it's cool.
Yeah. I'll say that. Yeah, you can just call me Sarah, which, I mean, I never got your name.
this guy blushes and he says, I'm Brandon.
Nice to meet you, Brandon.
He shuffles along next to you. And as you walk on by the community center, there's kind of like an uproarious applause, and everyone is really just celebrating something. Who knows what it was? You're on your way to the debris, I'm guessing, right?
Yes, that is where I am headed.
Okay. Gimli Cindy, checking in. How are you doing?
Great.
Great.
We're just vibing.
That's what's happening. We're vibing. She's not blaring my ears out with sea shanties while I try to focus.
Can I use is it a washer?
Yeah.
The washer and sell debris to fashion a harmonica looking thing or harmonica sounding thing.
That's a natural 20 intelligence check.
It's not gonna be that.
Well, try. That's the only way it's gonna happen.
I got a 17 on the die, which makes it a 19.
That's not gonna do it. Cindy's just kind of scrambling for random loose pieces of rock and metal that's in the cell and tries to put something together that's somewhat of a harmonica, and there's no shot. It just doesn't seem like that at all.
And I give it to Gimli. I made this for you.
Thank you, Sydney.
It doesn't seem like Noctowl is too concerned with your guys' activity. It's really just there for one thing. Eric's gonna roll to wake up. He starts to stir. Do you guys do anything with this?
Can I sing a lullaby to keep him to sleep?
Your performance reputation hasn't been great, but
Yeah,
Absolutely not, but it's worth a try.
you can totally
shit.
try. You can do it.
Performance, that's a +2. That's a 6.
That will not do it. If anything, that makes him wake up a little bit faster. He's kind of stirring, and he's just thinking, "What happened?"
Oh, you came
You
too.
had an awakening.
He said,
Quite literally now, yeah.
Eric says, "An awakening," and he kind of sits up, and he's like, "Oh yeah, the Packo.
Yep.
What are we doing? We're going on an adventure, right? Let's go."
No, as I explained previously, we are currently in jail, and we are waiting for our lawyer to come in tomorrow.
He says, yeah, leave it to the Packo to be responsible citizens.
Listen, I mean, we're heroes for a reason, you know. You do the right thing.
He's going to roll a perception check, and he rolled high. He says, wasn't there 3 of you?
Nope.
I don't think so.
He says,
Nice cover, guys.
he says, that's really weird. I really thought there was 3 of you. Let me check in with Brandon. He's my boss. He's got the list. And he stands up and he goes to leave the room. Any contest for that?
Brandon's not here.
Do you say that?
No,
But
Okay.
you guys don't know that.
we don't know that.
That's
we,
true.
We do, but we don't.
Yeah.
The players do. Or we as humans do.
Well,
Their
I
character-
mean, I do because I deceived them to leaving. I actually think he might. I might have heard him step out for a little bit. So we can just hang out here. You want to listen to more stories?
That's a persuasion. It's going to be easy. 9. DC 9 persuasion.
Yeah, I got it. 11.
Cool. Yep. He turns around and says, you know what? Yeah, I love adventures. Tell me more. And you don't have to be anything specific unless you want
Let
to.
me tell you about these cupcakes
Oh, okay.
and the Cradilly Flyer.
Great. He's
I
invested.
missed the Cradilly Flyer. Can Cindy complain about tomorrow being her birthday and her having to be in jail for her birthday?
Yeah, you don't need to roll for that. That's a free
To
action.
get sympathy. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you are kind of pleading with Eric, just being like, "Oh, pity
I'm
me."
just being like, tomorrow's my birthday and I'm gonna be in jail. I'm not even gonna have a cake and my grandparents are missing.
Yeah, roll a dice. Roll a dice. Just d20.
Oh, that's a 9 on the dice.
Okay. He feels sorry for you. He says, "Yeah, you're kind of a hero. You're a little young, but like you should have a nice birthday. I'm sorry." But he doesn't decide to help you or anything.
Great. Cool.
Don't worry, Cindy. We'll have a nice birthday for you tomorrow once this is all cleared up.
I hope so.
It'll be great.
I don't want to sleep on this hard bed.
Let's go to Elodie. Elodie, you're with Brandon, and Brandon thinks it's kind of a date. You've gone past the community center after you've changed every hip person in Duford's life, and you are going to the site of the incident. You're pretty close to it. As you approach, you see that Alex's family isn't there. Schmidt is not there. Quacko is not there. And all the Corsola are still there. In fact, they're just spreading out. They're all across the street. They're on people's porches. They're on people's roofs somehow. This neighborhood just has so many Corsola. Some of them are still knocked out in the rubble, but again, they're just smiling. They're just kind of passively.
They're just on roofs.
Yeah, this is Corsola Village now.
Like, bro, how did you get up there?
They're just chilling.
Yeah.
They're just funny little guys, dude.
So yeah, you're going up to Alex's home. Brandon says, "Oh, this must have been the site of that incident. Yeah, I heard about this. I didn't get specifics, but I guess that boat fell into the house somehow. Do you know anything about this?"
Yeah, it sounds like it was all just a big accident. Nobody was really at fault at what happened from what I heard.
He is convinced. You don't have to roll because he thinks you're cute and you're the champion's granddaughter. And he says, "Yeah, I hate accidents, man. Hate when accidents happen." And he he tightens his fist like as if he could do something about it.
Passionate about the accident.
Me when I find out about accidents.
God, if only there was a way I could prevent accidents. So passionate.
What are you doing here?
Yeah. I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, I offered to show you some of my cool Pokemon. Do you want to see them?
Brandon says, "Yeah, sure. I'd be really curious as to who you have on you."
Yeah, I'll take out Aubergine and Bubblegum.
They appear from their balls, and he says, "Oh, cool. Yeah, of course you're the Unova champion's granddaughter. This thing's from Unova." And he gets down and he goes to pet Aubergine. And he looks at Bubblegum. He says, "This one's cute too. They look pretty powerful as well."
Oh yeah, they're very powerful. My Lipard and my Brion.
He's giving them some attention.
I will allow him to give them some attention. Maybe they can charm him a little.
Okay, do you
cute,
actually
man.
want them to attempt to charm him?
Yeah, just like be cute.
Sure, more charisma, baby.
All right.
Riz him up.
Jeez, guys. All right. Well, Aubergine got a 12 and Brion got a 5.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he was already on good terms with you, so unless you really did terribly, he wouldn't be upset. Wait, did Aubergine get the 5 or did Briona get a 5?
Brione got a 5.
Okay, yeah. The truth of the matter is that Aubergine's a cat, and cats are easy to pet. Seals are kind of weird and moist and like not not that fun.
Not pettable.
They're pettable, but it's like uncomfortable kind of. At least compared to a cat. You know, cats are cats. So, yeah, he thinks they're cute. He says, "Who else you got?"
Well, that's actually all I've got on me right now, and then I'm going to try to recall the two of them as well as key lime at the same time.
Ooh, tricky. Yeah. Either stealth or sleight of hand. I don't know if it matters if you have proficiency for either. We'll say DC 10 because you're hiding it with the other recalls, but we need a 10 on that.
Awesome. I got a 16.
Yeah. Key lime, in touch with your senses, knows what you're trying to do and just teleports into the beam and gets recalled. So nicely done. You have 3 of your 5 Pokemon, which is pretty good. And he did not notice. Roll a DC 19 investigation for key lime.
Oh my god. It was a DC flat on the dice.
You got 19?
Yeah, on the dice. So that would be 22.
Okay, yeah. As key lime is recalled, it teleports the Hoopa bracelet onto your wrist. It has been returned.
Hell yeah. Let's go!
Oh, God. Chaos will continue.
Chaos. I cannot be contained.
Be contained.
Brandon says, yeah, all right. So there's a lot of Corsola here. What did we want to do here? Why did we come down here?
It just seemed like I just wanted to walk around the town. You know what? Actually, it's such a beautiful night. Have you ever been on the water?
Brandon says, sometimes I'll take a boat out, but it's been a while. Why do you ask?
I feel like it would be a good night for some boating.
Where are you going with this? Don't tell me.
Find the missing ocean Pokemon.
Yeah, don't.
Find my missing Pokemon.
Yeah, sure. Okay, go for it. Roll. I'm making you roll charisma checks, which is what Elodie wants to be doing. But could you give me one?
Yeah. That one was a 14.
Okay, persuasion. Do you have a bonus in that?
I do. Yeah, I have proficiency, so that would be like an 18 if that was a persuasion roll.
Yeah, he's so enamored with you. He says, "You know what? It is a beautiful night. I'm on the clock, but no one else is there. Well, besides Eric, but I'm his boss, so he doesn't care. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go on the water." A note: you're pretty close to the shore. You can easily get on the water. Your boat is in shambles.
Right.
You have one water type that can ferry one person, but they're gonna get wet. So what's your option here?
Well, are there like police boats that he can use?
Oh shit, you want him to smuggle a boat for a date?
Yes.
Okay. The shipyard's pretty close by. Is that what you're asking? And do you want to ask it, or do you just want to say that you ask it?
I might imply like, oh, but a boat might be hard to get this time of night. But it looks like there's a shipyard over there.
He says, yeah, I don't know if I could take a boat, but I could probably take one of the squadron's Pokemon, if that sounds okay with you.
Why not?
Roll a d20.
I got a 5.
Okay. You're pretty close to the shipyard. He invites you in. He says, come in. And there's like an attendant there. And Brandon flashes his badge. And he says, could I take out... And he thinks for a second. He says, could I take out F Unit 11, please? And the attendant says, absolutely. And he grabs a blue Pokeball that has a little like red splotch on it. And he says, I think this guy could ferry both of us to wherever you want to go.
Sounds great.
He says, all right, well, let's get in the water. What was your D20 again?
5.
Roll. I'm going a very roundabout method for this. Roll one more D20.
10.
Okay. You get to the water. You get to the dock of the shipyard. He throws out a Pokeball, and before you see a fearsome, mighty, otter-like Pokemon with 4 limbs and shell swords tucked into its arms. And he says, "This is one of our unit's strongest. This is Samurott. I thought you would like it because you're from Unova and everything."
Oh yeah, I'm definitely familiar with Samurott. This one looks really cool.
This one, in fact, has special blades that are like embroidered with like a law enforcement logo. It is actually kind of cool, and it looks very muscular and just very menacing. He says, "Let's get on the water," and Samrock kind of jumps in, and it's definitely big enough for the two of you to ride it, kind of like motorcycle style. Someone's gonna have to be hugging someone around their waist, so you have to decide who's doing that.
I guess like.
Brandon is nervous and he's kind of asking, even though it's technically his Pokemon. You are allowed to pilot it if you wish.
You know what? Yeah, I'll pilot it.
You seem to know where you want to go. So yeah. So great. You hop on motorcycle style and he kind of holds you and you, you get on the water. Where are you going?
This is a great question to see if I can try and remember where we were in the water.
Navigation check?
Yes.
Also,
Those
like,
historically
the
have
Pokemon
gone
were
well.
en route to Dewford based on Elodie's map giving. So, like, you might meet them part way. Just putting that out there.
Yeah. Based on your role, you will get information. So give me a navigation check.
Is there anything I add to that?
Were you adding things to the map check?
I don't remember.
I don't think you were. Just give me the straight.
Okay. It was a 17, so a good one for once.
17's good. You know for certainty you were west of here. You feel like that you were too far in one direction to have not been finding Dewford well. You were either too far northwest or too far southwest, but you can't quite tell. You were definitely west.
Okay. I will just start heading west then.
Okay. You are kind of holding on to Samurot's whiskers like handlebars. And you kind of, it's very easy to steer. It comes very naturally. Elodie spent some time with water types, so she kind of gets it. And you take off with Brandon at your side into the beautiful moonlight, the twinkling stars, the gentle ocean waves, the crisp breeze. What a special night, truly.
What a night.
Checking in with Cindy and Gimli again. The Hoopa story is going to be wrapping up. We're going to say it's like 10:30 p.m. Just want to see if you're trying to do anything in particular at this moment.
Let me tell you about the time I got my Torkoal.
Yeah, you don't have to
this
roll.
Torkoal was giant.
He's into it.
He's already dialed in.
Cindy, what are you thinking?
Nothing real. We're just vibing.
Okay. We will continue with the hot date.
That's what I'm here for.
I'm invested in this.
Yeah,
I want to hear what's happening.
I'm glad you're breaking back to let me know, like, hey, there's a different story that I'm telling, but I'm invested in this date night.
Great. Please roll a perception check, Elodie.
Okay. That's a dirty 20.
I kind of meant insight, but this works. I'll just apply that to both kind of. As you're heading west, you see right as like civilization kind of ends in Dewford Town, there's a large, like imposing cavern. And you, with your check of perception / insight, there's a certain like gravitas to it. Just something you observe. I don't know if you want to do anything with that information.
Do I recognize the cave? Like, have we seen it before?
You do not recognize it. You have not seen it before.
Okay. I will take note of it.
Okay. It is on the same landmass as Dewford Town. It is just kind of far to the west.
You don't ask Brandon about the cave? See if he knows.
You know what?
anything about it?
Yeah, why not? I'll say, that looks like an interesting cave. What's up with that?
Brandon says, oh, yeah, that's Granite Cave. A lot of people like to hike in there. There's a lot of powerful Pokemon in there. I know that the Devon Corporation mined a lot of minerals from there back in the day, and apparently there's still a ton of gemstones and treasure in there. I haven't been in much myself. I heard that there's a beautiful mural, but I haven't seen it. It's a scary place. Powerful Pokemon.
You're telling me I could get some rocks?
Do you say that out loud?
You know what? Yeah, I will. I'm just that unhinged right now.
Yeah, sure. Brandon says, he's going to roll actually to interpret that. He rolled pretty low. He says, oh yeah, it's full of rocks. Are you a rock girl?
A big fan of rocks.
He says, yeah, there's tons of rocks in there. We can go there right now if you want.
I think, it'd probably be safer to go during the daytime.
He says, oh, Sarah, you're so smart. Yeah, you're right. Let's keep going.
Oh, Sarah.
Sarah.
Let's get what kind of role am I looking for here? Let's choose northwest or southwest.
Let's go northwest.
Okay.
Yeah, we were coming from that way, right? So like,
Yeah.
You go northwest. You are past Newford. You are now like in the sea. You are not particularly close to the shore. Samrock goes pretty fast. It paddles kind of like a dog, but it's like fast. And it has a foreboding like horn on its head that kind of pierces the waves in front of it that like creates a really nice wake, and it goes really quickly. It's fun. It's exhilarating. Even though this isn't a real date for you and you're being a liar, you are enjoying this element of it at least. You are kind of an open ocean. Give me a D20.
oh god, the open ocean again.
16?
How? Damn it, Kimberly. Garby, have you been a DM or something? Do you know what I'm doing?
I've seen this before. We've done this. It's why we crashed a boat into a house. That was the start of it.
I feel like there's a little more to that than...
There was. It was extra steps, but it started with the encounter table.
What was your number again?
16.
16. Okay. It's a beautiful night, and the moon is out and the stars are twinkling, but other than that, it's like pretty dark. In your direction, we're gonna say like 80 feet out. It's kind of hard to gauge the distance. You see a massive serpent in the water, kind of just like twisting and coiling and writhing in kind of like an unnatural way. It is fully obscured by shadow, but you can tell as you get closer, like the waves get choppier and choppier. There is some sort of large monster over the horizon.
That is not good. We don't like that at all. I will point this out to Brandon and say, oh, geez, that looks scary. Do you know what that is?
I love Sarah. She's so great.
Wow, Sarah, that is scary. You're so smart. And gosh, you are just pretty too, but I need to pay attention to this snake.
He rolled pretty high. He says, yeah, that looks like a lot like one of the Pokemon we have on our squadron for aquatic investigations. It looks like a Gyarados to me, but God, that thing is massive, and it looks frustrated or upset or like something's wrong.
Is it an experimented on Gyarados?
Jesus.
Like
What
the
color
Torkoal?
is it?
This guy is the water. Oh, that'd be awesome, actually.
Yeah, it could be one of those experiments. You're so right.
Well, Torkoal was an experiment and didn't have the plate.
Right, yeah, that's true. It had the injection. It could have the
Yeah.
injection.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely don't want to mess with it right now with just Sarah and Brandon.
Oh no, she's too deep. She's become Sarah.
I have an important question. Very important question. Are you Sarah with or without an H?
That's so
with
true.
an H.
With an H,
With an
okay.
Without an H, it's just lazy.
Okay. So
Shout out to
It
all
doesn't
the
look finished.
Sarah listeners who don't have an H in their name. You're seen, but you should put an H in.
okay. Sarah, what do you do with this information? Do you just go away from this? Just try and avoid it?
Yeah, I'd like to give it a wide berth and go around it if I can.
Okay.
I would like to be, like, if I can, I don't know, try to take note of it and see if I can notice anything different about it. Like if it's like we said, like been experimented on, if there's something I can tell, like there's like a device on it or something.
Okay. As you're cruising around, you're definitely gonna have to get closer to gather any of that information. You are currently 80 feet away. How much are you willing to gamble for this info?
I love distances and visualizing them in my mind.
And gambling.
And gambling, that too. How big is a Gyarados? Use this as my standard of measurement.
How big a Gyarados is?
Appear to be 21 feet.
Yeah, and that's measured head to
Very
tail.
Standard unit measure.
Yeah. You'll get inconsistencies with the Pokemon heights because serpents are measured head to tail and other Pokemon measured from like foot to shoulder. So like Charizard is listed as 5'7" in the dex because that's how it's measured, and then Dunsparce is like 7 feet because it's head to tail or something. So not saying Gyarados
That makes
isn't
sense.
big, but just for
Right.
clarity, that's what's going on there.
Right, but like its length I think is more important to me here.
Yeah.
Although they do kind of scrunch up, so he probably isn't like appearing to be 21
He's
feet.
just a scrunchy little guy.
Yeah, you little
But isn't he
slinky
also
boy.
like big, or is he not big compared to Gyarados?
Do you want to roll if he's an abnormal size?
Yes, I'd like to check if he's an abnormal size. I think, yeah.
Investigation, real quick.
Okay.
You can do that from 80 feet.
9.
The DC that I set for this, I didn't tell you. It was 10. Unless you get 10 feet closer, it's kind of hard to tell if this is abnormally sized.
I will get 10 feet closer.
Okay, roll a d20.
That was a 15.
Cool. Getting a little bit closer and seeing it from a new angle in the moonlight. This thing's massive. It is not 21 feet long. It is at least double that.
Oh my god.
Oh, Jesus.
It is moving erratically, and you can kind of see from your vantage point around it that there are lots of like small, fast whirling whirlpools around it. And directly above the whirlpools are small like wind funnels. And it's just writhing and flopping in the sea, and it's roaring.
Okay. I would no longer like to get closer to this thing, and I'm ready to skirt around it, giving it as wide a berth as possible.
Great. Yeah, you do that based on your rolls. You're in open ocean. You're kind of getting further and further west from Dewford Town, and you're moving further and further away from this monster. Give me. You're just doing all the rolling because it's just your adventure. Give me
the horns on this one.
Give me perception.
Okay. That was a 13.
Okay. Yeah, you notice kind of directly to the west of where you currently are, you see a somewhat familiar sight. You see under the water, probably about 5 feet underwater, flashes of pink.
Oh, look at that. It's a Corsola reef.
Brandon says, "Wow, you're right. These are so beautiful. I haven't seen these since I was a kid."
We should go check it out.
He gets kind of flustered. He says, "Yeah, let's do it. That sounds like fun." What's your checking out method?
I would like to steer closer to the Corsola, and then you can kind of like stand on them, right? So like kind of get off and walk around on them.
If you get deep enough into the reef, you're able to kind of like walk on them. Do you get off of Samurott and do that?
Well, can Samurott, he can walk on land, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll probably actually just stay on Samurott, but have Samurott like kind of walk around on the Corsola.
Okay, yeah. I'm making a Constitution save for Samurott. Didn't think I'd be doing this today. He passes. He's got kind of very sturdy otter hands, I guess. They're very calloused. Yeah. He does not get cut up by the Corsola. And you're walking around. If you, based on your immediate perception, you do not see any familiar Pokemon being Patricia, Cabbage, or Grape Juice. You are at a Corsola Reef. What do you want to do?
Call for Patricia, Cabbage, or Grape Juice.
Yeah, that's totally a normal thing for Sarah to do right now.
You're just like, cabbage!
Man, I'm so hungry for cabbage!
If only I had some grape juice to wash it down, too! And my favorite dessert, Patricia!
Is this something Sarah would do?
It's just so unhinged that...
It is incredibly unhinged, yeah.
Honestly,
Brandon doesn't know Sarah very well. This could be something Sarah
Brandon
does.
thinks she's cute. You could be cute and unhinged.
That's me.
That's literally Melissa. That's my wife.
So
yeah.
true. Yeah, I think I will say very loudly, proclaim my hunger for cabbage and that I wish I could wash it down with some grape juice.
Then finish that meal with a dessert, Patricia.
What's a dessert, Patricia?
I'm saying I mean, you wouldn't know. It's from Unova.
That's true.
So.
That's true.
Sarah's favorite dessert from Unova.
Yeah. Roll 2 individual d20, please.
My cabbages.
Oh my god! Oh no, right, okay. I got a natural 20, and then the other one is a 7, but it looked like a 1, so I was like, you're kidding me. But,
like,
yeah, 20 and a 7.
Okay. Sarah/Elodie shouts, and Brandon's like, he is a little confused. I wouldn't say turned off, but he's like, huh? Like, what?
He's invested.
Over the horizon, you see flying through the air, Patricia, and Cabbage on top, gleaming in the moonlight, absorbing the moonlight seemingly. Cabbage kind of appears not in bad shape, kind of powered up, and they fly over to you. And Cabbage and Patricia land next to Samurott. Patricia just kind of floats on her poofy wings, and they nuzzle up to Elodie in familiarity, and Cabbage leaps out towards Elodie.
Wow, two Pokemon I've definitely never seen before.
Roll a deception.
13.
13. Yeah, Brandon is like pretty suspect. He says, well, he's thinking, what a weird night, and like, how did this just happen? But he reminds himself, all right, granddaughter of a champion from a different region.
Champion's granddaughter.
She's cool and special. She can do really special things. She must have just summoned these wild Pokemon out of pure friendship and Pokemon handling. And he is kind of confused. He says, "That's really cool. I've never seen this one before." And he points at Cabbage. He says, "Do you know this Pokemon?"
Well, I mean, it looks like an Alcremie, and being a champion's Pokemon or champion's granddaughter, I know how to talk. I'm familiar with a lot of different types of Pokemon, so that's what it looks like this is. I wonder, if there's any other Pokemon around here, and if they might be drawn to this Alcremie's scent. Maybe any fish type of Pokemon.
Soggy fish food donuts.
Soggy fish food donuts.
Is that a call attempt?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get her to.
Okay.
Like sweet scent type beat of fish donut smell.
Okay. Yeah.
Patricia could also go look for grape juice as well, but yeah.
This is a treat.
That's a perception, or sorry, a performance, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally.
Okay. Yeah. Keep in mind, this is something that isn't targeted, right?
You're just projecting salty fish.
Is this me performing or the?
It's
is
Cabbage.
This for the Cabbage.
This is
That's
Cabbage
Cabbage,
performing. Yeah.
Cabbage's got Riz too. It's fun.
Yeah. Cabbage rizzed out.
Fine,
Cabbage is
guys.
rizzed out. Dons the super spy kid sunglasses on a cake.
Yeah, that's a 26.
God damn.
What's the natural roll?
It was a 14, but her performance is 8 and her charisma's 4. So
Yeah, that's fantastic.
she's cracked.
Yeah. That's probably like the perfect roll. Off further to the west, you see like a wake piling up, and then as this wake comes closer and connects with the reef, Corsos start flying everywhere because of how shallow it is, and they go "Mee, coo, coo," and then you can see closer and closer the grape juice is just charging towards you, slides up, splashes Samurott and Sarah and Brandon, and you have been reunited with all of your Pokemon thanks to your good checks. Congratulations. However, this is not the only Pokemon's attention that you have drawn. Many other
There we
Pokemon
go.
smell the fish. Let me describe to you which pescatarian creatures come forward. 3 seahorse-like Pokemon with spiny quills on their back, and one of them with elegant, I don't know how to describe it, antennae. It seems to be like a leader of some sort. They kind of swim up and then float up towards the scent that Cabbage is making, and they're very inquisitive with their snouts, their tube-like snouts. Additionally, a Pokemon crawls up from between the coral. It is a red Pokemon with 8 limbs and a similar kind of spout-like face, and it kind of walks atop the Corsola with suckers on its tentacles and gets really close to Cabbage. It's just very patiently investigating, wondering where the fish are. A Pokemon that quite simply looks like a dolphin. It's got a little white stripe on either side of its body, and it has an aqua ring around its tail. It swims up very playfully, big smile on its face, goes to investigate Cabbage because it smelled fish. We got one more that's coming through. Floating up from the depths comes a Pokemon that seems to look like spiny anemone or an urchin of some sort. And as it comes up, the Corsola that are standing beneath Samurott disperse as it arrives. It's the first time you've seen a negative emotion in a Corsola. And this creature floats up to the surface and it lifts up two of its spiny little barriers on its face. And it looks at Cabbage. And it looks a little bit more aggressive than all the other friends that you've made, but it's not about to attack necessarily. But you are surrounded by curious water type Pokemon in this moment.
This is very overwhelming.
You will not be able to leave without displacing at least one of them, but it's a cool sight. Brandon's into it. He's like, wow, you're like the Pokemon Whisperer. This is so cool. They're also calm, too, he says as the Toxapex starts growling.
This is definitely super cool. And we should get out of here by... Man, it would be crazy if we had some sort of dazzling lights that could blind the Pokemon around us in order for us to escape.
All right. Is this something that you're doing?
I'm trying to tell Cabbage to use Dazzling Gleam.
Okay.
To distract them. I don't necessarily want to injure any of them, but at least to like distract them so that we can weasel our way out of here.
Sure. Yeah, we can remove the damage. What's the DC on that?
16.
Okay. We're going to make it 18 because of the environment. Because the moon is out and it is bright. Rolling for each squad of Pokemon individually. The seahorses are dazzled. Toxapex is dazzled. Octillery is not dazzled. Octillery critically succeeded. It wants some fucking fish.
Remains undazzled.
Yeah, completely undazzled. And Finizen is dazzled. So yeah, you've managed to distract all of them except for Octillery, and Octillery goes boom, and it really wants to have some fish.
Okay. Could I, since they are dazzled, would it be easier to like push past them to get out?
Sure. Yeah, you can do that.
Okay. We will do that.
Okay.
Making sure that maybe that Grape Juice, Patricia, and Cabbage are following. Maybe Cabbage can ride Grape Juice or something.
Okay. Yeah, we can arrange that to have that happen. I'm also going to roll a save for Brandon. Yeah, he got the lowest. He cannot see. He says, "Oh, I wasn't expecting that. Why didn't you say anything?" And he just is not seeing at the moment. He doesn't know what you're doing.
I didn't know that was going to happen. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're able to push past. The Octillery is pursuing. It is blasting water out of an orifice as well as ink, and it is kind of charging towards you guys pretty quickly. Samurott isn't at full speed, but it's keeping up pretty well. It is interested in Cabbage. I'm assuming you're going back east?
Yes, back to Dewford.
Yeah, you are. You're doing so. Do you do anything about the Octillery, or do you just leave it be?
I'll just leave it be.
Okay. Octillery, while chasing, fires off an inky blob from its snout. Perhaps an Octazooka, and connects directly with Cabbage, which will also splash onto Elodie and Brandon and Samurott. I need 14 con save from Sarah, Brandon, and Samurott. I'll roll for Samurott and Brandon. And Cabbage is going to be taking 29 points of water type damage automatically.
Okay, Elodie failed.
Okay. Brandon failed. Samurott failed. Great. You are all covered in ink. All of you have been inked up. It is thick and sticky, and Brandon extra can't see now. He is so doomed. He says, "Oh, what just happened? Oh, what are you doing?" And he's like kind of flailing and causing a commotion. And it's kind of not good. Octillery is going to catch up with you unless you do something right now.
Yes. Good question. I should do something right now. I will have Cabbage go for another Dazzling Gleam.
Okay. Just blind?
Against, no, like for 4 damage against the Octillery.
Okay. Octillery gets advantage to save because Cabbage is inked.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Got a 4 and a 3.
Okay. Oh, it is also blinded now.
Okay. Everyone's just blind. Just having
Everyone is blind.
having a bad time. Roll me just a straight d20. This is Cabbage's d20.
7.
Okay, cool. Yeah, there's a scuffle out in the water. No one can see. It's terrible. Are you commanding Samurott to continue moving, or are you just stopped for this moment?
I think for this moment we'll stop because of the knowledge that there is a dangerous beast that we may not be able to see currently.
Okay, understood. I'm going back to the prison crew. It's 11 p.m. You're telling stories, correct?
Yep.
You hear some not coordinated footsteps and a door swing open from the interior of the building. Do you have any sort of reaction to this?
Oh, we should get back at ourselves before you get in trouble, Eric.
Eric says, "Oh, yeah. Good. Right. And he does that, and he opens the door, and he's like, on his way out, he's like, I'm sure Brandon's going to deal with it, but I should just check it out. Roll a perception, both of you.
I got a 9.
Okay, Cindy?
Perception 16.
16, and you're closer too, so this is definitely good enough. Cindy hears Eric talk with someone. Eric says, who are you? What can I help you with? And this person says, oh my god, Brandon was supposed to come with me, go out for drinks, and I don't know where he is. And you guys said you would take care of me, and now I don't have anywhere to sleep, and my parents are going to be so upset. And Eric says, okay, hold on. Who are you? And this person says, my name is Sarah, and I'm very important, and I need to be helped right now. It's late. I'm drunk. You got to do something for me right now. Eric says, okay, wait, I have an idea. There's an extra bed. Come here. And this woman says, okay, whatever. I just need to sleep. Eric opens up the cell, and the two of you see a woman with braided ginger hair. She is clearly a little sloppy. She's clearly a little drunk, but she also like has this air of like importance to her. And she says, Eric, are you fucking kidding me? This is a prison. I don't want to be here. Who are these losers? And she gestures to Cindy and Gimli. Eric says,
I point. Sorry.
No, you first.
I was gonna point like finger guns at the Noctowl and be like, eh.
Yeah.
Towards the drunk girl.
Yeah, Pokemon handling.
Please.
This is the funniest thing that's ever happened.
Noctowl loves me. After knocking me out, like Noctowl loves me.
Got a connection.
Oh, never mind. Not anymore. Pokemon handling +5. That's 8.
Yeah, it seems like Noctowl just doesn't vibe with this girl's energy. She's like too much. She says, this is a fucking prison, but you are lucky. I had too much to drink. I need to sleep. I will sleep here. But when I wake up, you're not going to hear the end of it, Eric, okay? Eric kind of stammers. He says, oh, I'm so sorry. This is all I can give you right now. I don't know where Brandon is. And Sarah says, I don't know where fucking Brandon is either. Okay? Now, leave me alone. And she just kind of curls up in the cell with the door open. And she's like out. You hear like snoring like immediately.
Richie, did you know someone like this? This feels too hard.
Your drunk impression is
you
so
met
good.
someone that's like this.
I am literally improvising. I literally didn't know that this would happen at all.
You know, Sarah.
Yeah, it's like there's a Sarah that you know somewhere.
So story time with Eric has been interrupted because Sarah is now occupying Elodie's old jail cell.
That's so funny because we shut the
We
door.
call it switcheroo.
And I think that's where we'll end the session. Hello, and thank you so much for listening to episode 62 of Dunsparce and Drampa. I'd like to give some extra special thanks to our latest patrons, being Santurthi, Jacob, and Snowwolf. Patrons get access to all sorts of bonus content, including our recently completed NRG one-shot, which turned out to be a two-shot. But nonetheless, there's lots of goodies there for anyone who's interested in directly supporting and are interested in bonus content. You are welcome to interact with us on Twitter and join our Discord for absolutely free, and there you can talk to us, the players, myself, the DM, or just generally react and join our community. If any of this sounds interesting to you, please check out our link tree at linktr.ee/Dunsparce for all of the socials, the Patreon link, our merch, and more. We are looking forward to you joining us for our next episode, which will release on the 13th of June. See you then.
Since he's a child, there are no real legal repercussions.
As a minor, I mean, you can still go to juvie.
Yeah, there's a child jail. Did you forget that? That's a thing.
So I've given you a map.
Left arm.
Left arm. Yeah, I was for fun.
There's a left arm in here.
Kira, you can cut this out or put it at the end.
Yes, we see ourselves, and outside the window is left arm.
Okay, guys.
It's
Okay.
Schmidt's left arm. It's Schmidt's loose left arm.
Wow, his
out
arm
the
is
window.
huge.